Hey there guys, Johnny here again. I'm bringing you another video of my Vainglory gameplay. Now at this time of the recording that I'm doing, it's actually very close to the update 1.13. So I'm actually trying to push out all my videos that was done in update 1.12 as soon as I can before it's the new update, otherwise it won't be relevant anymore. So once again, I want to thank you guys out there for actually watching my videos, and it's actually a few of you guys who actually did message me on the Vainglory forums. Especially this one guy, I think is Fattest Crow, I believe that's his username. He's actually expressed his liking for the Vox video, and I'm glad a lot of people have been watching it as well. So, and in fact, he said that he's decided to go get Vox for himself as well to try it out. So I'm great that I'm very happy that my videos are making a small little impact somewhere. Okay, so anyway, he's also asked for me to make a Catherine video because he says that Catherine is his main, and anything that I can show him would benefit him. But to be honest, if Catherine is your main, I think you can show me more things than I can show you. But here it is, Fattest Crow, for you out there, and for the other guys out there. If you happen to want to know how to use Catherine, this is a rather noob video of mine to show you how I would use Catherine. By all means, this is not like the way to use Catherine at all. Now, as you can see, I'm together with Kral in jungle, and we're being invaded already by the enemies, and they're doing a lot of work on me right there, especially that Sky. I was about to turn around and do a stun on her. As you can see, my countdown there was just like 1 second, and I was about to turn around and snipe her. And I think that would have changed the whole entire game. The entire battle right there. Unfortunately, she forward barraged me before I could even do that. So unfortunately, we lost Kral as well in the jungle, and so we're off to a rather bad start, I would say. But that's to be expected because, after all, it's a Kral. And Catherine ain't exactly a very aggressive roamer as well. So it's expected that the enemy team would come and invade. Now, if you're wondering why they're so aggressive, I actually added these two teammates here in this game as friends after this match. And I realized that they were actually at the tier of the hotness. As for myself, I'm only decentish gold, so I don't know actually how I end up being paired with them in the whole queue system for casual. But anyway, so I got paired with them, and perhaps that would mean that our opponents would be around that level as well, either from decentish, pretty good, the hotness, somewhere around there. So they did want to come in aggressive in that sense. So anyway, guys, this is some of the things that I noticed about Catherine. Now, Catherine, what I would do is to try to get 1 or 2 levels of her stun. However, after which, I would start to build her B ability more. Is it called the Storm Guard? That bubble thingy? Okay, whatever that is, the B ability, I will actually try to upgrade it more. Try to take its overdrive as well, especially as a support character, because that allows her to really have a lot of sustain in the battle. Okay, anyway, so as you can see, Sky was invading our jungle again, right? But what we did instead of trying to engage them is that we just rotated back up to take out the single person in lane. So as you can see, Ringo knows we're there. He does a slow, I go in with the stun, and of course Kral runs out to apply even more slow on Black Feather, and we managed to finish him off. So that's one thing about being in the jungle. Now, if your opponents are really aggressive against you, just make sure, number one, clear your farm as quickly as possible. When you see them and you know that you are outmatched, meaning that you don't have like your Koshkas and your fortresses, but they do, like they have aggressive comp, then it's best that you stay away. Like in this case, I was trying to get Kral to get away. Kral was very smart here. He knew that we were being cornered, and he decided to do the smart thing, and that is to run away. I wasn't bitter at all. I knew we were gonna lose that fight. So if we're gonna go down, we might as well go over to the enemy side, enemies of jungle, to clear some farm, get some farm, and get out. And I didn't die. Kral got the farm and he got out as well, so that's a benefit. So from what looked like a very precarious situation, thanks to Catherine being able to survive very well because of her B ability, she just had to draw the enemies away. Thankfully, Ringo came down to help us out, and the enemies disengaged. At the end of the day, we got out of it with some benefit as well. So that's a good engage there, although we didn't get to kill anybody. So always take these little small victories when you are playing the game. Alright, always try to think positive, do the positive as well. Make the best out of a bad situation. I think that's the main key, and all this will eventually add up. And of course, make wise decisions. Don't go in unless you're sure you know you're gonna win. Right, so I see the enemy junglers there. Well, they don't really want to come in the bush, so okay, I'm just going to stick around and I'm just going to buy some more items from what you can see over here. I'm building towards my Fountain of Renewal. This, to all the support players out there, I've met some great ones, by the way, but I've also met some that they don't really know why they build what they build. So in this case, number one, Fountain of Renewal is the best item you could possibly buy for your team, because sometimes the team just needs a little bit more health just to stay in there to deal damage, to win the battle. Okay, so anyway, back to the battle over here. So this is the one that we lose. I was trying to say that let's go for Sky. Let's not waste any more energy. However, Kral decides to run instead. Maybe he ran out of abilities. His abilities were on cooldown or something. But I wouldn't have run there because Kral, especially perhaps at this stage, can still take on a fight. I was prepared to stay in there to use my bubble, Storm Guard or whatever it is, to block the 4 barrages for him, but he kept running away, and I was like, oh no, okay, so do I join you or what? So I decided, okay, we'll split. Okay, we'll split and we'll see what the enemies do, because sometimes splitting in a situation like that would actually cause the enemy to decide, and they usually can only get one. So guys, once again, splitting might be a good idea after all. Alright, so anyway, here is another engage. We split again, making them decide. They decided to go for me instead. That's a good decision, because I mean, not a good decision by them, sorry. I mean, that's good for us, because that way Kral went over to lane. As you can see, he killed off the laner. So once again, taking small victories from a bad situation. Kral's waiting there. I know he's just waiting to come in for the attack. And just look at how much damage he does to the Sky. All I had to do was survive. That's all I needed to do, because that's what roams have to do, right? They had to take in the damage. They asked me to go for the gold mine. I said, no way, I'm gonna die within the first 2 hits. So, okay, once again, smart decisions. You might seem that, oh, it's a great idea to go for the gold mine right now. But had we done that, we probably would have been on the losing end, because we were all very low. Okay, so once again, don't be greedy. Wait for the right time to do it. Alright, so, and that wasn't the right time. So we just go ahead and just keep on getting on farm. That's basically what we do. Okay, good. So I got my ultimate right there. That's gonna help us a little bit more in battles. So, because Sky relies a lot on the mobility. She needs to do that Suri Strike and 4 barrages and all that stuff. So she's very mobile with her abilities. If also Black Feather, by the way. If I can silence all of them with my ultimate, and by the way, in this highest tier, the silence is up to 3.5. I think it's 3.5 seconds of silence. Can you imagine not being able to use your abilities for 3.5 seconds? That is amazing. That would do a lot for your team, especially if the other team relies a lot on their abilities, which in this case is true. So it's going to help us a lot. Now, while we're doing the farming and doing the boring stuff, let me just talk a bit more about Catherine. Like I said, I want to build Fountain of Renewal because that will help my team stay in the battle longer. After which, I'll build a Storm Guard banner because that is going to help my attacks do much more on not just the jungle minions, but also on the enemy. The more gold you get from your Iron Guard contract, or the Storm Guard banner in this case, the more true damage you would deal to the enemy. So Storm Guard banner is the next, so it will help me a lot of engagements. And then I will start building some armor, because of Black Feather. Now I want to stay in the battle as long as possible. I want to be there as long as possible to fight. So if I'm going to stay in there, I need to defend against all the enemies, and that includes Black Feather, who is weapon built, weapon powered, right? So we're trying to save the turret over here. We managed to do just that. Just with Kral going in there, I do a silence so they can't escape. Kral goes in with the sword, and he manages to finish off Sky just right there. Okay, and turn around to take on Catherine. So once again, that silence just for those few seconds, 2 seconds in fact, allow Kral to close in on Sky. Otherwise, Sky would have been able to just do her 4 barrages, run around and stuff like that. So it's very important. It may not seem like much, like this silence, oh, it doesn't really do much damage, but it is the silence that you really want. Now, Catherine is great, by the way, for being a roamer. She's like the prime roamer. I mean, now of course I know Arden is, Arden, by the way, is my favorite. But Catherine has everything you need as a roamer. Number one, she can take damage with her B ability. So she can go in there, take all the damages from the enemies with her Storm Guard up, and absorb all the damage until once all the abilities have been used. That's when the rest of the team can go in. She got a reliable stun. Now, when I say reliable stun, is because you get to control the stun and who you want to stun, how you where and when you want to stun. It's not like an Arden Gauntlet where only if the enemy walks into the gauntlet will the person get stunned. Right? It's not like Celeste, who has to aim her stun really well, predict the movement of the enemy in order to get the stun right. So with this A ability, she has one of the most reliable stuns in the game. Okay, and oh yeah, Joel needs to really aim her stun as well. So no one is a better stunner than the stunning Catherine. Yeah, pretty stunning, by the way. Anyway, in this battle I died, but I did take the bulk of the damage there. As you can see, the other two are very low, and they decide not to engage. And look at this turnaround. Look at this turnaround. Look at Kral. I mean, the Kral was amazing in this game. He knew exactly when to go in, when to go out, and that is, by the way, the true test of a good player, a great player. To know exactly when is your fight, when it is the time to fight, and when it's not. So you keep practicing, guys. And watch pros play. You will know exactly. You start to learn like when is too much, when you can actually go forward and just push all the way. So as I was saying, so those are the 2 abilities, and of course I mentioned about the silence, the ultimate, and that all together she can manipulate the enemy so well. Go in with the stun, silence them, or rather silence first. Usually what we do is that we silence first before going in for engagement. Silence first, and then stun the enemy carry and get the whole team in. Because for 3.5 seconds, they won't be able to do anything if you get your silence right. I mean, besides the basic attacks, of course. So it's enormous. As a crowd control, Catherine is number 1. So guys, let's focus on the battle right here. So what we're doing right here is just buying stuff for myself at least. I'm buying stuff to beef up against the enemy. As you can see, I just got my armor there, 2nd tier of my armor. So I'm going with the stun here, just enough time for Kral to catch up behind me to finish off the enemy Sky. We go in for the Catherine. I apply a silence just in case she wants to go use her boots, and Kral goes in with the kill. So that's how we do it. And then we see, wait a minute, Black Feather's just standing there. And okay, since he's just there, okay, we just killed him. I think he AFK'd for a while. He does come back in the middle of the game, but that allowed us to get some more lead in the game. And I was a bit sad because I'm thinking, oh no, is it going to be one of those games where one of them AFK'd? I mean, yeah, we get to win, right? But I don't like to win that way. There's no glory in the win. So it does. So when you AFK, guys, you know, you not only spoil the game for your own teammates, but sometimes you do ruin the overall fun for the other team as well that wins. So yeah, so guys, please make sure when you're playing this game you are absolutely free and ready to rumble. All right, so make sure you're free of distractions if possible. But of course, sometimes we know it's due to circumstances that we do not foresee. Like, I don't know, a drop in Wi-Fi, maybe your mother's calling you or something like that and she will not take no for an answer, you know, things like that. Alright, anyway, so back to the fight. So far we've got 2 of the turrets down, so it's good. We are able to push a bit more. I'm getting my... I'm trying to build towards a... what you call that? Contraption. Why actually? I'm not sure. I should have gotten a war horn actually. But I think I wanted the contraption because of the cooldown. Yeah, I wanted the cooldown on my abilities because in case you don't know, contraption has a passive in there to kind of reduce your cooldown. Anyway, so here we are taking the Kraken. They're asking me to lure the Kraken into our bush so that it's further away from the other side and the enemy can't really see what's going on. So this is what you can do as well. If you're taking the Kraken, lead it into your own bush so that you have a high possibility of securing the Kraken in this case. And we do, without any resistance at all. We're kind of wondering, where are the enemies right now? They are just gone. I don't see them on the map. I don't see them clearing lane. I don't know what's going on with the team right now. They're all probably turtling up just to remain passive. They're not even taking their own minion mine. So I'm just wondering. Okay, I see Blackfeather now. Comes out together with Sky. Ringo tries to go in. Tries to follow up. I try to go in with a stun. Unfortunately, Blackfeather was too slippery and I decided to turn around. So once again, another decision made. Once you think that the thing's too far away, don't dive in for the sake of doing it, because just because you activated your ability doesn't mean that you have to follow through. Make the smart decision and come out when you have to. So anyway, once again, another smart decision in this case is to not attack the enemies. Go for the turrets. Objectives first, everybody. Sometimes some people have that itch to want to take on the enemies, just to, you know, because they're just right there and they're killing you, so you just want to go for it. But sometimes you gotta focus on the turrets, because once you burn the turrets down, the Kraken can then get work on the Vein Crystal, and then once all the turrets are down, then you can focus your energy and time on the enemy team. Alright, because if you start attacking the enemies before the turrets are down, then the turrets will focus you and you'll die before you know it. So definitely for me, objectives first. Okay, unless of course there's a prime time to kill off 1 or 2 enemies because they're really low, something like that. So yes, it's situational, but 90% of the time it's all about the objectives. Rightio. So once again I see Blackfeather there. I ping to crawl to get him. I'm going in with the stun. He goes in with his Dead Man's Rush. We slow him down. I silence them, so once again he can use his ability to get away. And because of that, we're able to get the win, secure the kill. I mean, and we're pinged by Ringo to go into the base, which is a good idea. And let's just focus on the Vein Crystal here. Okay, so even if we don't focus on the Vein Crystal, that's fine. We can take on the enemies as well because it's safe now. There's no more turrets. So we decided, okay, let's do some damage onto the crystal first, and then we'll decide what to do later. Nice stun there by Crawl, and I tried to go in with another stun. And okay, so we win the game. There we go. So everybody, that's the game for you, the Catherine gameplay, especially for you, Fastest Crow out there, as well as whoever is interested to know about Catherine. 10, 2, and 1 for Crawl, 5, 1, and 8 for Ringo. Amazing game by them. 0, 2, and 8. Of course, I don't have to get the kills at all, but I was there. I believe I was there in all the team fights, I mean, all 3 of us, and I helped a lot in the game to secure the win for this. Okay, so Catherine, once again, an amazing support with all the great abilities. She's never been out of the meta, to be honest. She's always been there. She's always been so reliable. So Catherine is definitely one of the best roamers out there. Hopefully you get to use her very soon. And with that, I'll sign off right now. Coming back soon with another video. Thank you guys.